Hey, Todd, I'm glad to hear TELUS Agriculture is getting into this area. What is TELUS Agriculture doing for us farmers?
Well, thanks, Mitch. The background on this one is that this is part of a larger diversification strategy for TELUS. TELUS has invested in other areas of technology, such as TELUS International, which is just doing IPO, and TELUS Health, where we connected up the health records of Canadians to doctors' offices, pharmacies, and hospitals. It's a similar play here as well for farmers. The idea here is to connect data from farm to fork. So we have gone out and started looking at acquisitions and investments throughout the value chain to start to look at how we service both farmers, agribusiness, and agri-food, and then connect that data that goes from the farm all the way into agri-food over time. So the value in the farm is really going to be kind of twofold. Initially, you're going to find that we will have solutions that are going to focus very much on performance and production. So, things like variable rate technology, various systems that help the farm plan. But the longer intent is those data that in those systems, those records are very relevant to both agribusiness and to agri-food. Okay. And because we will be building platforms and relationships there, we will tie those together to provide additional value for the farmer longer term.
Okay, Todd. So if I get this right, as a farmer, do I still own my data? And how can I be sure that my personal information is going to be safe?
That's a good question. So when you, we have a similar situation when we even look at health, right? Like, is it unbelievably sensitive data? And so whenever we are going to be sharing data, we will have to have permissions to share data. So it is first and foremost your data to share, right? And that is what we put in terms of all of our practices. And to that end, we also, because of legislation itself, have to make sure that those pieces are in there. But we will treat any farmer data as personal and as their data. And as such, anything that we will share will be permission-based. Now, there is another area of data usage as well, and that is to aggregate data and aggregate data for various derivative products. For example, if you want to start thinking about how you have disease detection in a field, you will combine weather data with what you've seeded, with satellite imagery, for example. So we will combine data for those pieces, but that's not necessarily your personal record tied to that. So we'll be utilizing data for that piece. And then, of course, we will look at the data to support things like carbon markets or food to add additional value to the farmer. But any data that we have, again, we are enablers of data, and it's to share. And I think that the other important thing here to consider, Mitch, we're not here to sell you chemistry, seed, iron. Our job, honestly, is to connect your data in a safe and secure manner to opportunities downstream and to make sure that we're helping you in the field. That's our intent. Yeah.
Okay, Todd. I think that's all the questions I have. So thank you very much for your time today. And I think it's great that a company like TELUS is getting involved with farming. And I think it's going to be very beneficial for us. So thank you very much for your time.